Hello, ladies, gents, and non-binary people. Romie Mojo here. Please like, comment, subscribe. So we got a Cal episode. Why did we get a Cal episode? I don't know. It actually started off. It started off one of those things where it's like, all right, let's go and try and humanize him. Oh, the most annoying thing that I don't like is when we have to humanize someone that we've been taught to dislike, to gravely dislike, borderline hate. It's Cal. So we see him when he was essentially in high school and he was still getting to the point of getting his sexual awakening. He had this best friend, they did everything together, and remember, we're seeing from his Cal's point of view. So the best friend could have felt the exact same way the entire time, and Cal missed it because he's just worried about not being exposed. They played wrestling. We already know how erotic that close contact sport can be, and it's Euphoria, so of course I said, oh no, there's gonna be a locker there's gonna be locker scenes. Euphoria doesn't even need locker scenes because we saw these everywhere as usual, and I'm desensitized at this point. It's actually hilarious at this point. Cal, he actually, the girl that he ends up marrying, and we find out he did that not because he liked her, but because she got pregnant. We realized that Cal was more sexually fluid than he probably originally even realized, and that would have been cool if he grew up in a different time, in a different environment where he could explore that. But no, he had to grow up in an environment where him and his best friend were gonna go to different colleges, and so somehow they get to a gay bar, and I'm like, oh, so this wasn't planned. And then they start dancing. I'm like, what type of dancing is this? They start kissing. I'm like, oh, okay. How nice, how lovely. We're trying to humanize Cal of all people. But nope, we get the awesome news that his girlfriend at the time is pregnant with Nate. And for a 2.5 seconds, I was like, dang. Because he was like, how many tests did you do? 3? Multiple? Oh, did I feel bad? I don't like Nate. I don't like Cal. So we get to move on. We get to move on and see RUE. RUE's really, she's just sinking deep. She's sinking deep. Even though she has these bright spots. She has these bright spots. And I'm just like, how dare you gaslight Gia? How dare you gaslight Gia? Gia needs therapy. She needs emotional support. She's being emotionally abused by her sister, and I'm not liking it. RUE got her to the point where it's like, oh, if you think I'm high, it's just weed. What type of mess is this? What type of mess is this? So not everyone thinks that, oh, RUE, you relapse? No, it's just weed. And because of how everyone, obviously sees weed at this point, it's like, oh, okay, girl, live your life. But she's not. She's going and trying to get Fez to give her more $5,000 worth of drug. 5,000 instead of hanging out with Jules, instead of hanging out with you hang out with Eli because he surprised. Anyway, that I saw that coming, but she goes back to the same place where you had to go and get undressed, and you were mortified by that, but not mortified enough to stay away. No, you come and you dress in a suit and you get a business plan together, a business plan to go and figure out how you can score more drugs. And you make it sound like you're just going to be selling these drugs, but you're going to have to go and Fez is going to have to bail you out, and something's going to happen to Fez, and something's going to happen to Ashtray, and right now they're my favorites right now. So I'm upset. I'm upset at you, RUE. Do better. You know who else needs to do better aside from everyone? Cassie. This is Cassie. Cassie girl. Whew. Poor Lexi. Cassie is waking up at 4 a.m. You wake up at 4 a.m. to do this beauty routine, which yes, initially can feel pretty empowering because you're like, oh, I'm taking care of my body, my skin is glowing. But after a while, you can only shave yourself so much before you start getting these nicks and bruises. You can plug in before your skin is like, stop it. But you, Cassie, are doing this not for yourself, not for your mental health. You're doing this for Nate, for Nathan, for the Scourge. Nathan? Nate? Of all people, you're doing this for... Oh, Jesus. You dressed up as Maddie because he was not paying attention to you at school, but you knew it was one of those things where he was paying attention to you because you're still sleeping with him once a week. So then at one point, you dress up as Maddie. It was cute. Y'all both were cute, but I said that is a Maddie look. That is a Maddie look. And even Maddie was looking at her like, what single white female type of message? What is this? Oh God. Oh. And you having that conversation with Maddie by the pool while she was babysitting that kid, talking about how, you deserve to be with someone who loves you, puts in the same amount of effort that you do with them and all this stuff. I said, oh girl, you're doing this thing that I do. I tell everyone about the things that they deserve in themselves, and it's supposed to be about me. Ah! And the fact that Cassie got all dolled up for her boo just for him to go and say, oh, sorry, can't do this week, we'll just have to pick up next week. And he went over to Maddie. Oh my gosh. While she's at the other people's house babysitting that child. I love this show. I love this show. I was like, oh, this is getting too real for a moment. You know who else it got too real for? Kat. I feel bad now. I'm scared because Kat, I don't know how much longer you're going to be with Ethan. It's giving me you're kind of bored. You're still trying to figure yourself. You're self-conscious. You know he's a good guy, but maybe you need to work on yourself a little bit more. And when you had to go to that dinner with his parents, I said, no. And the mom asked you, oh, so tell me about yourself. And you were like, you generally don't know. And then the mom was like, wow, that was enlightening. I'm like, you were a teenage girl once. Why would you say that to her? I guess we can talk about Cal again. I needed a break, but we can talk about Cal again, because look at that. I love to see it. This is what I was waiting for. This is what I deserve. This is what we deserve. Cal, he hates his life. He hates his family. He wants to go. He wants to die. And so he won't do the suit to sats. So instead, he's going to go and take the punk way out. How dare you try and go and to get Fez to go and kill you? Because if Fez killed you and then it came back on Fez, you're the biggest punk. So he goes there, and of course Ashtray knocks him out. Sit down, what's going on? And he's trying to go and bait Fez, and Fez is a king. Fez doesn't get moved by some peasant mess, because this is some peasant mess, and this is what we have to deal with. We have to deal with Cal going and spilling the beans. Why is Faye there? I'm like, Faye, what are you doing? Oh, stop looking like Francine. Anyway. So he goes and lets it be known that, oh, are you upset with me because I went and slept with your friend, Jules? You did what? Fess is like, you did what? Huh? I don't like your son. I have issues with your son. What are you talking about? I'm not. My issues with your son is with your son. You slept with Jules? And then he was like, yeah, and are you upset more so because I recorded? I said, you slept with her and you recorded her having... Huh? Cal's so dumb, he still doesn't realize Nate doesn't have the tape. So then Ashtray is hitting him because he's like, oh, I'm gonna call the cops. And I'm like, oh, you would, you punk. Ashtray kept hitting him. I was like, yes, do it again. And then when blood was drawn, I said, oh, this is beautiful. This is art. Thank you. So then once Fez was like, you know what? I'm going to let you live. I'm going to let you leave. Don't talk to my people ever again. We good? And not just you, your punk A son. Him too. If you go with that, we have a deal. Do we have a deal? Yeah, we have a deal. I'm like, Nate listens to no one. So this is gonna get messy. And Ashtray, him one more time for good measure. Boom! I was like, yeah, Ashtray, we love this dynamic. Who else was even there that... Lexi Lexi. Oh, Lexi. Ooh. Lexi realized what her actual thing is. She is an observer. She observes what's going on versus reacting. She's around a bunch of reactors, so someone has to observe. Trust me, I know. I'm like, why are so many of these characters me? Parts of my personality. Urgh. Lexi decides she's gonna just start typing down her life and turn it into a play. Oh, art imitating life? That's the best type of art. So now what she's gonna do is she's putting on this play, Oklahoma. She found this girl who was like, I hate Oklahoma, and now they're gonna do casting. And the school really turned out for it. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on at this school? I didn't know the school was liberal arts. What's going on? That auditorium was huge. I'm like, why aren't we doing more of these school scenes? Where are the parents? Oh wait, I'll let you know. Rue's mom is checked out. She's always on that phone. Has no idea. Oh, I came back because we're doing auditions for a play. With a huge suitcase. Oh, she's doing so well. I'm thinking this is why we can't have nice things, aka well-adjusted children. Because when you have some parents like these parents, that's like, what are y'all doing or not doing? Please start doing it, please. And Lexi putting on this play, I love that for her. When she's seeing Cassie be a mess, when she's seeing RUE and all of them just jotting it down, day and night. There's fights, jotting it down. Why do I feel like Lexi and Ethan are going to be a thing? Because she looked at him like, I'm in love. And I said, oh no, oh no, oh no. So now we're going to have an issue with Kat. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is Eli. I'm sure his name's Elliot, but I'm calling him Eli. So him, RUE, and Jules, because Jules was like, oh, you like RUE, and he was like, what? Why can't I just be why can't it be a little bit of this, a little bit of that? You know, straight, gay, like you guys, not like you guys. I love the threesome friendship. I actually do. But when RUE dipped out and Eli was there planting the seed about saying how, good, how good Jules looked, and I was like, uh-oh. And he was like, oh, you're a sexual being, and he already knew her body count and all this, and he was like, no, he respects her, she is who she is, and he really respects that. That's intriguing, that's sexy, and we know that RUE is not that sexual. She's too focused on the drugs to be anything else. Honestly, that's the main issue. And so I'm like, oh no, they're bonding. Oh no, you thought that he was gonna go after RUE, but no, in reality, RUE, you leaded this person to your boo. Sidebar, when RUE saw Cal, that was hilarious. And they both had this look of see, I lost my neck there. And when RUE was at the, I'll call it Narcotics and Alcohol Anonymous meeting, whew, when Ali was there and he was trying to tell her about herself, like, what's in the bag, what's going on here, you're not gonna BS me, and she was like, oh, what you gonna do, it's not like you need to stop trying to parent me because you're not going to win any parenting awards over here. And Jen, I was like, what you going to do, hit me? Because remember, he was physical with his ex-wife, and it was like he was hot. I was like, oh, and he was like, if you say one more word, I'm done. And she did. I was like, oh God, RUE. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will be back next week because I love Euphoria. And I'm like, oh God, they are a mess. Everyone's a mess, but I can't look away. Even the random D pics don't scare me anymore. Because at first it was like a jump scare. I was like, what are we doing here? We just think, oh, everything's normal. Penis. Like, what? Oh, I hope someone doesn't make that a clip. All right. Check out my past stuff. Stay tuned for future stuff. Subscribe. Road to 9,000. Thank you. Let's go.